Blaze a trail, raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the commanders will prevail. Raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the commanders never frail.
Yeah, what's good, Fan Nation?
You're.
What's going on, everybody? It's week 8. Our Commanders are going into Arrowhead for what we think is a do or die game, man. It could be a Monday night upset. So we're going to break down all of that and more, especially as we come off of that terrible week 7 loss against those dastardly Dallas Cowboys. Kenny, how you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling good. I feel even better if we can end up in the win column, because it's either going to be an upset or it's going to be an implosion. It's one way or the other. But I'm looking forward to this Monday Night Football. Hopefully it ends up being a shocker.
Most deaf. So for everybody who has joined us, I see a few people on Instagram already tapping in. Go ahead and drop your city and your record prediction below in that chat. And let's get this party on the road. Starting off with our week 7 disaster recap. Man, I feel like I work at FEMA, man, having to talk about this right now, but let's go ahead and do that, bro. Let's jump into that. 44-22, horrible score. I have PTSD. Yeah, man, Jayden got hurt, and that's honestly the crucial point coming into this game, coming out of that game and going into this game is we have no 5, man. No 5, bro. How you feeling, man? That hamstring injury in that third quarter really kind of put some shackles on us, if you ask me.
Absolutely did. You know, it was still a close game. We were far from out of it when Jayden was playing. Unfortunately, he went down with an injury and kind of derailed everything. Going into the game, we came in shorthanded on offense, and obviously our defense didn't help not one bit. We just looked confused. We looked lost. We looked like a JV team versus the championship varsity team.
Facts.
It didn't look good. It didn't look good at all. And I'm hopeful that there will be some changes. I truly am. I'm hopeful that because after a loss like that, it's these men are gonna have to look in the mirror, and they're gonna have to have a conversation with themselves. And that's all across the board, from the coaching staff to the players, okay, everyone involved. It's a serious one. I mean, that one hurt, but as it may be the reset that this team needed.
Most def, man. I definitely think that was painful, but I agree. I think that's the reset we needed. Sometimes you really gotta take those hard L's in order to come back. And I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was Nell or if it was B Mitch. One of those guys said that it felt like this team is still hanging off of the things we did last year. And I think a loss like that really helps bring things into perspective. And hopefully these guys will get after it as if this is a new year, right? New time frame. DQ and Joe Witt have been talking a lot about simplifying things on defense to hopefully make the communication woes go away. So definitely, yeah. ANC SMC says they think guys are riding the wave of last year. Definitely the high of last year. I still feel that same way, especially like my guy Mikey, man. I was talking last week like Mikey was going to be an X factor, and he truly was. Him and Marshawn kind of had us getting hurt out there. So it's going to be real interesting to see how things go. I'm not going to dwell too much on that loss because we have a big challenge coming up this week, going into Arrowhead for a Monday night showdown against those Kansas City Chiefs. Arrowhead is a tough place to play, but I feel like these guys really thrive on those environments, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a great opportunity to see us bounce back.
Put up or shut up.
Yes,
That's
sir.
it. It's put up or shut up, man. It's win, get back in the mix, or we lose, and it's a long road back, baby.
Let's talk about that. So there's an injury going on, but let's pivot this on. Let's talk about that. The couple headlines going into this one. Of course, we know Jayden being out. That's going to be a big thing in there. But the good news, the super good news is that our boys Terry and Deebo are going to be back in the mix. That is, you can see this smile on my face, y'all. I'm pumped about that. That's going to make all of the difference having those guys back. Defenses can't stack the box. They're going to have to respect that. And that's going to change the way our offense can operate. And of course, we're going to go a lot deeper into that throughout this episode. And like Kenny said, this is a put up or shut up, man. We got to get back in the mix on this one. So those are like the biggest things going in there, as well as Vegas. The spread on this, in some places I've seen 10.5, and others I've seen 11.5 as the point spread. And a lot of people have the Chiefs covering that too, which is definitely disrespectful. We deserve it because of the way we play. But definitely disrespectful on there. Let's see. Before we move on into the next section, I wanted our friends on Instagram are tapped in right now. Someone said, I'm not super impressed with KC's defense this year, but the defense got to show some resilience against their offense. 100% says, you never lied about that. She said, looking forward to seeing the vertical pass game get going. You and I both. We're gonna need that, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that as well too, especially with Marcus coming in here. I think Marcus is going to provide some unique things to this offense, specifically against the Chiefs as well too. Kenny, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. When it comes to Marcus Mariota, the one thing that we're gonna have to utilize in this game is his running ability. He's been very efficient though. His mobility, I mean, he's averaging 9.4 yards per rushing attempt. I mean, that's nearly double Jayden's. Jayden's averaging 4.8 yards per rushing attempt. Big ups to Next Gen Stats. They provided a lot of this info that we'll be spitting out today during this segment. But understand something. Why it matters is because of his efficiency. The RPO game, read option. It makes him a dangerous weapon. And forcing Kansas City to account for his legs on every single snap is a big difference. Okay. One thing I can say, it shows not just through the statistics, but every time he was on the field, I noticed that the RPO game was just at another level when he was out there, and everyone benefited from it, the entire backfield. So with Deebo back, with Terry back, I think the biggest beneficiaries of them being back on the field is the run game. Okay, every single player from Bill, I almost said B-Rob, Bill.
He not on the team no more. He don't go here, bro. Fix your words.
You got, of course, Jeremy McNichols. Man, he been running tough. I hope he actually gets more snaps because McNichols has looked good. And then, of course, Chris Rodriguez. They're all looking good, man. So I think that they will all benefit with Mariota not only being at quarterback, just because our running efficiency is just better when he's been at quarterback. And then on top of that, you can look at you just look at the fact that Terry and Deebo's back. Defenses can't just sit there and put 8 in the box now. You're gonna have to respect. You're gonna have to respect the underneath now. I see what you're showing right now. Like Mariota against KC. Listen, fellas, I don't know if that ladies and gentlemen, not just fellas, ladies and gentlemen, do you guys remember this? This is the infamous Marcus Mariota where he throws a touchdown pass to himself against the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs back in 2017, wild card matchup. And they actually came back and won this game. They were down 21-3, and this is where it all started. And they ended up winning this game 22-21.
Definitely, man. Before I dive into that, because like you said, Next Gen Stats in this next segment, we're going to talk a little bit about some of those things in our key to victory. As you all see on the title, the secret plan to upset these Chiefs. And we're going to dive into Marcus Mariota is a big part of it. But I want to tap in with our friends on Instagram. They're really chatting it up with us right now. Vicky and KK says Kansas City's defense isn't top 5, but they're better than ours at the moment. If Mariota can play like he did with the Raiders, and Terry and Deebo and the defense can lock in, we can have a small chance at this at Arrowhead. I 100% agree, and we're going to give you some stats that support that theory. ANC SMC says he's doing better with the read option than Jayden for sure. And she also said that
Hmm.
she would love to see C-Rod get back in the mix. Sounds like Coach Reed is not sleeping on Mariota and he's going to take him seriously. As you know, because of that clip that we're currently playing on the screen right now, Coach Reed knows all about it. And all week they've been talking about how Marcus is a threat and how we are lucky to have a guy like Marcus step in for a guy like Five. So that's going to be a
Yep.
big piece of this game, man. It's going to make all the difference going into this matchup. And we're going to talk a lot more about that, starting with Mariota. Like Kenny said, he's averaging 9.4 yards per attempt on the ground. Like his RPO game this season is sharper than Jayden. Jayden's averaging about 4.4
Absolutely.
yards on the ground this season, which on more attempts, more games than Marcus is. Besides that pick six that Marcus had, he's been also taking really good care of the ball most of the season as well when he's been in there. That pick six was terrible. But
Mm.
yeah, man, I think
Don't remind me.
the playbook is going to change a lot more, man. We're going to be more RPO heavy and more zone reads. And Marcus is really going to be the equalizer with his legs in this matchup because Five this season just doesn't seem to have been running it the same. I don't know if it was the knee injury. It just seems like there's a natural sense of hesitancy on there. Maybe he's just trying to become more of a true pocket passer, work on that part of his game this season. Whatever it is, man, I really think that Marcus is going to give us a little bit of an edge with that in there. Chat, would y'all rather see Marcus keep it conservative or take deep shots early? What y'all thinking? Hey, what up, Pro Tech?
Yep. What up, Pro Tech?
Hey, yes,
OTF,
sir.
it's just
Hey, it's
us.
just us. Hey, Luan, what it
What's
do,
up,
Lou?
Lou?
Hey, facts, bro. I
Pause.
hear you on that. All the way. I definitely need to see it to go for those D shots on there. Uh ANC says aggressive. KC secondary is not what it used to be. Yeah, you're right, sis. They're definitely not what they
Mm.
used to be. And I don't think they're a team we should be afraid of, man. I know they've been scoring over 28 points in all of their recent in the last 4 games. They've scored over
Hmm.
28 points. That's impressive. And our defense hasn't been able to hold water. But I do think with the simplifications and some of the things that we might see this week are going to be different, right? We're going to see, hey, kill Lou. Hey, Lou, relax. Hey, I'm trying.
Wow. Lou crazy. You
Hey,
got you can't entertain Lou, man.
I'm sorry, y'all. Back to my regularly scheduled programming on there. I definitely think we're gonna need to take advantage of that. And having Terry and Deebo back, that Kansas City defense isn't that scary. Honestly, they're especially against the run, they're average. They're middle of the field, and that's why I really feel like that Marcus with his legs is gonna be a big difference on there, man. AKA Mars says, how confident are y'all with all these injuries? The fact that we have Deebo and Terry back makes me that much
Yeah,
more confident. Last week, I feel like Dallas was able to do what they did because there was really nobody on the receiving core they had to respect. They could just stack the box
nada.
all day and play man to man and make those guys beat them, which they proved they couldn't.
Correct. You never
Mm-hmm.
lie, Craig.
Mm-hmm. Kenny, you want to talk to me a little bit about Deebo and the motion game? I think that's going to be the second advantage that we have when we talk about this secret plan to beat these Chiefs.
Yeah. You want to talk about an offensive playmaker? He's back, especially with Terry on the field, which will open up the underneath game. I think Deebo Samuel's yak and motion impact, according to next gen metrics,
Oh,
Samuel,
my
he
goodness.
ranks among league leaders, league leaders in yards after catch. Um, he's heavily used in pre-snap motion. So, and I think the reason why it matters most, and I want to emphasize the fact that not only he's just a yak god right now, he's a beast after the catch and his motion impact. It's his short area burst that obviously converts safe throws into explosive yardage, and that fits so perfect with Mariota's quick game rhythm. Mariota is he loves the quick game. That's how he lives off of RPOs, quick game. Okay, that is his bread and butter. And having Deebo on the field and Terry, but of course we're talking about Deebo. But I just feel like with Terry being on the field, it just only complements. And the reason why I keep bringing it up because it's somewhat of a marriage, between them. Terry take the top off the defense. Deebo could eat underneath. It's been too many times. I mean, a few games this season Deebo had to step into both roles, but now with Terry back on the field, he can really eat underneath, and then the screen game, quick game, obviously going in motion and just taking advantage of everything underneath.
Yeah, most def, man. Most def. I think having Deebo back, like you said, that misdirection, like I was talking about with last week, we never had anybody where the team Dallas had to respect. And
Right.
honestly, I don't feel as though Cliff, even with the guys we use, I would have loved to see Jalen Lane go in motion a little bit. I would have loved to see Robbie Chosen go in motion. Maybe use some two back sets with McNichols and Bill out there. We didn't see any of that. I don't think he
We
had the
didn't.
confidence in those guys to run that. But this week, he's gonna have his guys back. He's gonna have the guys who he has the most utmost level of confidence in, which is gonna open up the playbook a little bit more because Marcus isn't a second year guy. You have to remember
Nope.
Marcus is used to running these RPOs. He's used to being in an offense like this, and he honestly excels. Besides
Excels.
the fact that Five
Yep.
has the physical traits that Marcus got, Five just has more God given talent than Marcus does. Outside of that, I think Marcus is equivalent. And in some cases, when it comes to the mental aspect of the game, I think Marcus can be even a little bit better than Five. And I
Mm.
think that's going to help us out having these guys back. We're going to be able to kind of see a lot more of that yak. We're going to be able to get Terry in motion as well as Deebo in motion. It's going to be like, I remember watching that first game against the Giants, and when we see
Mm-hmm.
Terry out there, you see Deebo in motion, defenses don't know what to do. They really have to guard every blade of grass. And I think that this is weak. We're going to be able to get that element back into our game. And like Lou said, Bill is going to need to redeem, man. We're going to need Marcus Mariota to protect the ball. I mean, I don't know, man. I think he can really hold on to it this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Deebo has definitely been missed the most. I'm seeing some of our folks on Instagram. Cliff's playbook is so personnel dependent. It's not plug and play up. I think
It's facts.
JD5 will get a lead at it. He's got to get exposed more to defensive fronts and coverages. Mariota is just so seasoned and has seen it all. Yeah. Yeah. See, man, I love her
Facts.
takes. Shout out
Nah,
to
she's a beast, bro. She's
always
she's
on top of it.
always
I
in
love
our
her.
DMs with excellent takes, bro. Like
Excellent takes.
always
Even on her
excellent
story, like
takes. Even her
whether it's the
story,
Commanders playing or somebody
for
else,
sure.
just pure football knowledge, she got it. So shout out to you,
Yeah,
sis.
yeah, she's her.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lil C White, what up, man? What are our thoughts on the Brian Thomas apparently getting shipped? I mean, we were gonna talk about this a little later, but we could talk about it now since it's coming up.
Why
Kenny,
not?
how you feeling about this, man? The Brian Thomas. I know you and I we've been talking about this one a lot.
Yeah, we've been talking about it, bro. Here's the thing. I really didn't think it was possible, but I did just a bit of a deep dive dig into it, and I had to really think about it. And I was actually looking at their posts, like a few of guys on their organization, and it made me think, and it brought to light just the fact that this is not the same regime that drafted him. This is a whole new management,
Mhm.
and he is. I mean, I believe he's leading the league in drops right now. I mean, he's
Mhm.
doubling what he had last year. In terms of drop percentage at 18% currently. Uh, you know, I they drafted Travis Hunter.
Mhm.
Okay. It's not like they don't have a receiver. They didn't go out and identify their guy. Maybe Brian Thomas isn't in their plans. So what I would love to, of course, have him unite with us. There was already rumors that we're exploring the edge and wide receiver market. That's what the rumor has it. Okay, those are the two positions that we're looking at right now in the trade market, just to see what's out there. So, as I said, it would have to be a player and a late round pick or a 2027, second round, third round pick, and potentially a player if we wanted to throw something in. But that's how I look at this because we can't give up any draft capital. Number one,
Hmm.
we're not giving up a first rounder. I'll tell you that, it's out the window. And then we're just not in a position to do it, you know. But I don't know, man. I would love to see him at Burgundy and Gold. It
I
would
would
be,
too.
I
I
mean,
would
listen,
too.
he's on a rookie contract. You can't beat it. You know, the fact that he's gonna be cheap over the next couple years. And by the time Terry's contract up, it'll be you could pay him. So it kind
Yeah,
of works out perfect.
yeah.
So
Yeah, man. Him and Five having the relationship they already have would be nice. And like ANC said, he's playing a little soft right now. He got some stuff going on in between the ears. But who better than somebody that you love and know, your guy, number 5? I feel like Jayden is like Black Jesus. If y'all ever seen the Black Jesus show, he's your boy, man. Like, he got the handy for you on deck. He got some fish and some loaves. And I think he could be the Black Jesus to Brian Thomas on there. Definitely for the right price, though. And I did just go ahead and do a quick search, Kenny. Brian Thomas Jr. is leading the NFL this season with 7 drop passes, and Jerry Jeudy is also right there with him with 7 as well.
mm,
So 2
there you go.
guys that, you know, have the opportunity to be great. Who knows? Maybe Jerry Judy's getting shopped as well too. We don't know. I'm just speculating on that. But we're talking about
Yep.
Brian Thomas Jr. right now, and I would love to see that, especially at the right price. Like Manny's saying right now, they want too much. I mean, if you're talking something like a future, like maybe a 2027 pick or a young guy, like I'd be open, and people might not like this, but I'd be open to shopping somebody like Johnny Newton for him. Like if you told me we could do Johnny Newton in
Absolutely.
like a second and a third or something like future picks, I'd be open to
I'll
something
take
like
him to
that.
the airport myself.
I'll drop Johnny off, and I love Johnny. I'll drop him off,
Yeah.
bro. I will drop him right off, man.
If we could get
So,
Brian Thomas Jr. and Burgundy and Gold, come on now.
yeah,
For that, yeah, he could mm-mm.
yeah.
Bring
I
him
do
on.
love Johnny. I do love Johnny. I know the consensus is he's gonna cost too much. I do love Johnny. Terry definitely robbed us. And yeah, Deebo's looking for that next contract. But if we got Brian Thomas Jr., maybe we don't have to be the person who gives
We don't
Deebo that
have
next
to
contract.
give Debo that big
It gives us some
exactly.
flexibility, y'all. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
unpopular opinion. I love Deebo. I'm a top Deebo fan. Shout out to Deebo Samuel. He watches our story all the time. Shout out to him. I'm a huge Deebo fan, bro. But who knows, man? Who knows? I'm just thinking, putting my GM cap on right now, taking my feelings out of it. But let's
Yeah.
get back to our
Facts.
regularly scheduled programming, though. I appreciate you, Lil CY, for bringing that up because that was definitely something we were going to talk about. So we've been talking on this stream about Washington's secret plan, powered by Next Gen Stats. Right, we're focusing on some of the stats on how we can actually realistically get a victory in this matchup. So far, we talked about how Mariota shifts the offense and how Deebo being back allows us to use the motion and the yards after the catch, and Mariota excellence in the RPO and his 9.4 yards per carry, how that could be something that can help us get an edge over Kansas City. Let's dive in a little bit more on pass rush. Now,
Mm-hmm.
we're mired with injuries on our defensive end room, right? We lost
Correct.
Norris Armstrong. We lost Dietrich Wise. We've lost Javante Jean
Gene.
Baptiste. A lot of guys who we've lost, but I'm not worried still. And here is why. One of the things that our team does extremely well defensively, even though it doesn't always translate to sacks, is pressure. We are a high pressuring team, like one of the best. Right now, Washington has a 40.3 pressure rate with a 4-man rush.
Yeah.
40.3, y'all. That's pretty high. That's around the top of the league in that stat. That's impressive. And it gets even better when we blitz. And we're also great when we're not blitzing with a 4-man rush. So that's going to be a big thing. I think in this particular game, pressure is going to be worth more than sacks because
Mm.
keeping Mahomes in that pocket, man, keeping him in that pocket, forcing him to throw and not get creative. I think Mahomes is one of those guys who best when he gets out of the pocket and is able to create. But if you could keep him centered in there, it's going to really cause some havoc and it could give us an opportunity to exploit them, specifically on that left side, which we got big news right before this stream. Kenny, you want to go ahead and talk about some of that big news?
Yeah, man. Big news. God, we just dropped it on the gram. Josh Simmons will be out the Monday Night Football matchup.
Mm-hmm.
That for personal reasons. It's not injury. I mean, I hope everything's okay with him personally, but he won't be playing in a football game on Monday night. He is not strapping up. Um, they are already, I wouldn't say struggling in the offensive line, but they do have some injuries, and it's been shaky at best, especially on the left side.
Hmm.
They're down a guard. Now they're down a tackle. Whoo-wee. And the left tackle at that, their first round pick, Josh Simmons, who I actually like coming out
I like him
Ohio
a lot
State.
too.
Yeah. So we're talking, we're talking translating pressure rate, right? Um,
Oh, Kenny, we lost you for a second. Your sound is gone, bud. But I'm not sure what's up with Kenny, but I'll go ahead and take the helm a little bit from here. Kenny was talking a little bit about the pressure rate and some of the things that are going to come in there, but not having a stalwart guy like Josh Simmons in the matchup is going to be something that's going to be crucial for us. And that's an opportunity that we can exploit, especially with Joe Witt talking about us switching our front a bit more. We're going to go away from that 4-3 that we traditionally run and run a little bit more of a 3-4, where you're going to see guys like Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu coming off the edge a little bit more on the blitz. Kenny, you back? Oh, guess not. So back to those guys on there. I definitely think seeing that switch on the foundation is going to be something that's going to help us out, because the strength of our defense is the interior pressure, right, that we can generate. And having the fact that Josh Simmons is going to be out and their right guard, Tyler Smith, is already on the mend right now with an injury as well, and he's questionable going into this matchup. This gives us an opportunity to eat against an offensive line that has historically been really, really good. And they've been really good this season. Mind you, they lost Joe Tooney last year as well, too. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup. And I think that's the piece of this game that a lot of people aren't talking. They just see the Kansas City Chiefs and we get lost in the lights of Mahomes and Andy Reid and all the fact that they've been such a great team for so long. But having that offensive line weaken can give us a bit of an edge on there. Let's hit the chat. It says they're doing a good job of generating pressure. Yeah, yeah. Joe's been leaning in on that pressure. You're absolutely right about that. He's not making a really elite QB have to think post snap. Yep, and that's what we got to do a little bit in this game. And I think with their interior being hurt like that, it's going to be really good for us. And their running game isn't that strong. You're right about that. Let's see what our YouTube is Payne playing this week. Payne is still questionable. He's a game time decision, so we're going to be waiting to see on that. And from what Dan Quinn and Joe Witt were saying, it looks like Luvu and Johnny Newton on the edge and Payne and Kinlaw at the interior, and we'll see if that's the case. Yeah, and we're going to see a lot more of the rookies. They said that Kane Madrano is going to get out there a lot more this week. Kenny, you good? Still nothing. I don't hear you, bud. We having some technical difficulties with my boy Kenny, y'all. Hopefully he comes back soon. Kenny, when the moment you come back, just feel free to start talking, and I'll give you the space. All right, bro.
you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with my mic.
No worries.
I'm using a MacBook now. But yeah, sorry about that.
All good, bro. What so far with what we've been talking about the interior? Go ahead and take the reins, man. I know you had something you were saying before your mic went out.
Oh no, I mean you finished it off. You pretty much, let me know. Well, you let the people know exactly everything that I was going to state as far as with their offensive line depth being so shoddy. And at the same time, of course, Lou asked a great question just a second ago: is Payne going to play? And that's my big question, because we really need to exploit this D line. I'm sorry, this offensive line. And Payne has been the one bright spot on defense, the brightest spot on defense. I mean, he had 3 pass deflections last week against Dallas, bro. Like, it's unheard of by a defensive lineman in one game. So I just love the fact that, Payne's playing his heart out right now. He's damn sure playing his ass off. And I really want to see him in that matchup. I don't think he's going to sit out. I hope that he's able to play. And because this is a huge matchup, and I would love to see Payne out there. And we truly need to take advantage of such an offensive line, weak offensive line. Now, the other thing that was mentioned is the 3-4 scheme. When we got the safety last week against Dallas, we actually played a 3-4. And I think we're going to see more of it. It was something that we had mentioned on our story. We were brainstorming. We put a tweet out. OTF did, and it was basically how a 3-4 scheme would look. Okay, with our personnel. And right now, since we lost Wise, Da, Jean Baptiste, and we're weak at such position, we need to switch some things up. And the way to do that is, of course, taking advantage of our personnel. And what makes the most sense is a 3-4 scheme. That's what makes the most sense. You got Bobby at middle linebacker, McGee inside, Frankie on the edge with Von Miller and Jacob Martin rotating. And you have nose between Kinlaw, I'm sorry, not Kinlaw, Payne and Newton. And of course, you have Kinlaw as well, rotating on the interior D line. So, you have the ability, and then also Kinlaw can play on your edge as well in a 3-4. You have the ability to get very creative with the players that we have. So I look forward to seeing that a lot more. I think that's the direction that we're going. Maybe it was hinted at against Dallas.
For sure. You mean Kansas City, but definitely.
No, it was hinted at against Dallas.
Against Dallas. Oh, yeah. My bad. I misunderstood what you said.
You're good.
Yeah, man. Bro, I 100% agree with that, man. The 3-4, honestly, ever since we have those injuries, a lot of our pass rushers who are left aren't those big defensive end type guys. They're more of like the outside linebacker, a la Bradley Chubb type guys. And I think that we can have a lot of advantage in emphasizing that. Guys like Jacob Martin, guys like Von Miller, even using Johnny on the edge. You can even run Kinlaw on the edge a little bit more. I think that's going to be it's going to be really, really interesting to see how that comes out. And I'm really excited to see our linebackers being able to play, like moving Bobby and Luvu into more of the will and strong side backer, and having McGee play some middle linebacker. I think that could be something that's really useful for us, and seeing some more Kane Madrano, right? That's one thing that Joe Witt talked about this week is we're going to get a chance to see what Kane can do. He's going to get into the mix. And that's something we've all been clamoring for, especially since we need speed. We need speed. We see what teams are doing against us. They are just throwing in the middle, and we are getting gashed. And Kansas City, they got the Swifties over there, man. That boy Kelsey, he's mean over the middle, and him and Mahomes right now are clicking. So having those guys in there will really help us out, because like ANC said earlier, that their running game's not that scary. It's not. Isaiah Pacheco has kind of been the cream that's rising
not
to
at
the
all.
rock, but they're not that scary, man. Who they have?
Nope.
Rashad Smith, Isaiah Pacheco, and Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
All guys that, yes, they can hurt you, but they more so hurt you within the flow of the scheme and the game and the things that Patrick Mahomes is able to do. So if we're able to kind of shore up that middle, I think we have a huge shot at that. And that's why we titled this episode The Secret Upset Plan, man. I think that that's going to be just that, man. It's going to take a lot of the three things that we talked about: the pass rush weapons, right? Going backwards, Deebo and the yak and motion game, and Marcus's legs, man. We're going to need Marcus to truly be Super Mario in this game. Take care of the ball. Use his legs wisely in this one. Travis Smith, Lou.
Travis,
he ain't lying, though.
Nah, he ain't lying.
Yeah, man. Yeah, ANC said we got gas on the outside zone, and they don't have those type of runners. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
they don't got those type of guys. So
they don't have that. Pacheco is up to he's the interior rusher. I mean, he can run off the edge, of course, but he's not that's not his game.
He don't have that speed to break off the edge like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's not a Javonte Williams when it comes to even just the body type to be able to just truck through Bamas like that as well, too. He's like more of a former receiver type of guy. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. And I'm excited going into this matchup. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the things that we're going to need, specifically like some of the keys that we're going to need in the key battles in this one. The first one is going to be the tempo battle, man. Offense versus the clock. That's going to be a big aspect of this game. We've talked about these the secret plan and the advantages we have, but this is how they actually come to life, right? Is by taking advantage of our run game. We know that their defense, as great as it is in the past, they're average when it comes to the run. They're like ranked 15 or so, right in the middle there. That's something we can work with, especially since we're top 3 rushing offense still, even after the last 2 games we've had where we haven't been able to get the ball going as much. We're still top 3 in rushing offense. So if we keep that going, that's a big opportunity. And the best way to beat Mahomes is to keep his ass off of the
field. Keep him off the field. Just to piggyback off of that statement, we talked about it earlier with Mariota and the efficiency. If we could get long, 10 play, 6-minute drives, going, it will only help us, because last week we didn't help out our defense either. The offense with the turnovers, of course, but then on top of that, the short fields on the turnovers and the short drives, we were getting 3 and outs. Okay. We weren't possessing the ball. We weren't playing our game, whatsoever. But we also understand the reason being is because Jedi 5 didn't have his guys out there. We're down our top 3 receivers, So we understand the reason for it. So with this game, I feel like we have the opportunity to get the run game going, control the clock, keep Mahomes off the field, because that's the only way we're going to win. It's the offense versus the clock. That's literally their main opponent. The mission is to win time of possession. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. It doesn't hurt. It definitely. We do need Zane Gonzalez back. We're gonna need some good kicking on there, but we do need to win time of possession. Instagram is lit right now. They're talking about taking some shots on first down. Don't be so predictable. Absolutely. ANC is making good points left and right. She says they hide some weaknesses in the secondary with zone, and with Terry back in the mix, we can eat on zone defenses. We can eat, especially with Terry and Deebo in the mix. It allows guys like Luke and Jalen Lane to really just find spots and sit, because the defense is going to be all eyes on those 2 guys at most moments. Even Zach Ertz, I'm not even talking about him enough. Zach Ertz is no yak Zach knows exactly where to go in zone defenses and just sit there and chill and wait for the ball, man. Even Casey's going to score a lot. Yeah, I think that if we can control the clock though, Lou, we can keep them from scoring a lot, man. And we won't have Marshawn on the field if we're controlling the clock. Man, he said defensively, keep everything up front and don't let Rice burn us. Yeah, that's going to be a big one. And that's going to be why it's important to keep them off the field.
Facts. We got to keep them off the field, bro. That's what we have to do. We know they're going to score. There's no ifs, ands, no buts about it. Okay, we know that. Mahomes going to get his, Rice going. We just need to contain it. Okay, we need to contain it. We need to control the clock. Do not turn the ball over. That's a non-negotiable. Avoid turnovers at all costs. We have to protect the football and deny Kansas City from any cheap points. They got to earn it. Make them earn it. So yeah, man.
Yeah, talking more about the defense. You were going to say, sorry.
No, I was going to say, I was going to touch on, I was like, we just had to be disciplined on defense. Of course, containing, pressuring Mahomes. Okay, those are the type of things you got to do. And then from an execution standpoint, force him to throw from the pocket rather than extending plays outside. That's when he turns into Patty. We need to keep him as Patrick. Okay, as long as he's Patrick, we'll be all right.
We have a chance, just as long as he's Patrick and not Patty. I like it. Yeah. I like it, man. I like it. Definitely. ANC said once again that Marshawn just needs to get his head around. Lots of safety shells. We got to run the ball to get those safeties moving around. Absolutely, man. That's going to be a big one on there, sis. Terry and Deebo there will open up the run game because the deep threat is there. Yeah, last week it wasn't there. They didn't have nothing to respect, man. They should just play man and say beat us. And those guys, quite frankly, just couldn't get it done. And it is what it is. That's just how football goes any given Sunday, man. So, It's going to be big, man. And let's go in on defenses specifically. The key for the defense in this one is going to be to eliminate the explosive plays. That's going to be a big piece of it. We can't allow those 74-yard touchdowns like CD had last week. We can't allow the Chiefs to come out and score in 35 seconds. We can't do those type of things. We can't do that.
Oh, that pissed me off. You just reminded me that 35 seconds before the half, they were supposed to kick a field goal. What team allows that? Allows it to, They had every expectation to come and kick a field goal. 35 seconds, they scored a touchdown. I couldn't believe it. Drove down the field. That cannot happen this week. We will lose.
It can't.
Let it happen.
But you know, I honestly think the X factor in that happening could be McGee or Kane Medrano, those younger guys. I think that Medrano, you have to remember, he's a former safety converted to linebacker. He can run. He's fast. He ran like a sub 4.5. He had the fastest time for any linebacker in this year's combine. So that boy can run. And hopefully him getting some more clock, if he is able to find his way and communicate effectively out there, and all of those guys can keep that communication going, I think that we have an opportunity in that, man. I really think we can limit those explosives on there. Chat, which commander defender has to step up the most on Monday night? Who y'all saying? I'm pretty sure the consensus might be Marshawn, but
I'm about to say
what y'all thinking?
They all gonna say let him score.
What y'all thinking? Marshawn, let him score. Lattimore, Lattimore. I'm seeing some Lattimores over here on IG. Shout out to the IG family, man. Y'all staying with us. We appreciate that. Yeah, DQ and Witt don't get out coached by Reed and Spags. I hope not, man. Rashee Rice is back as well too. They have their whole arsenal. Rashee Rice. They have Hollywood. They have
Worthy.
Who else is out there? Worthy. Big game Zay.
Bro.
So
it's gonna be
interesting. Scary Terry. Definitely he's gonna be somebody who needs to step up. Lil C White, you got anybody on defense who needs to step up the most on Monday night? Give y'all a second on that. I personally think the person who's gonna have to step up the most on defense is, it's easy to say Marshawn, but I think it's gonna have to be, I keep saying it, McGee, and my second person is gonna be Amos. I think Amos is.
Why'd you just take the two players from me? That's crazy.
I'm sorry, bro.
McGee had 87.7 PFF grade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every time he was on the field, he flashed. It's crazy. He played so well last week. I love that. Was the one bright spot against the Cowboys. I was like, McGee is balling.
Yeah, so, McGee was looking good.
And just in the press conference today, Witt admitted, he said, no, he's going to see more play. He's going to be on the field more. So I just don't know why it took 7 weeks, but
I mean, he was out a lot last year, so I feel like they just wanted to make sure he had a sound understanding of things and see how he was communicating. But once we started taking Bobby out of the game, Coach was talking about it in his press conference today that once we started taking Bobby out of the game, it was McGee wearing the green dot. He was the one calling things, getting everybody set.
He was.
And I think, he was definitely. So that confidence that he showed last week, I think is going to translate into this week. And that's why we're going to see that 3-4, man. I really think that 3-4 is going to be big. Having 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers back there is going to be, a big nickel safety. That means we have the potential at some points in the game to see McGee, Luvu, Wagner, and Medrano all out there at the same time. Keep that in mind, y'all. That could be something that if it comes together, it could be a symphony for us, right?
Facts.
Revo needs to step up. You're right. Realistic Washington fan. Lil C White said Frankie Luvu.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some stuff. ANC said that Andy Reid sometimes doesn't really be coaching. Yeah, she's right about that. He is capable of being out coached. If all our guys show up and do it, we have a great coaching staff. Y'all can't forget that just because of the performances we had. Remember, we're just at the halfway point of the season, right? Week 8 is going to make it the halfway point officially if we're looking at the season as 4 quarters. And there's a lot of football left to be played. So it's not time to panic. If anything, it's time to lock in. And I think that because of the veteran coaching staff that we have, we can expect to see some changes. Now, if those things come to fruition or not, that's going to really be what the task is, but we can expect to see those changes. And I don't think we should expect to back down and fall back yet. No way. I don't think this team is built like that. I think this team is built to have fight to the last minute. And that's what I'm hoping to see this Monday.
Yeah. One can only hope.
Yeah. Now, closing us out on our keys to victory. We've talked about this a lot throughout this stream already, but I'm just going to go ahead and touch on it one more time. 0 turnovers on offense. Marcus, take care of the ball. Take care of the ball. And I need Terry to be, y'all seen Little Giants? I need Terry to be like the black kid in there catching the toilet paper, bro. Every ball is toilet paper out there, bro. Every ball is toilet paper, bro. Catch that. Whether you got to put the little sticky stuff on your hands, I don't care what it is. Take care of the ball. That is the number one thing. Marcus doesn't have to be spectacular. He just needs to play smart. That's it.
Facts.
You don't gotta just be the flying Hawaiian, bro. Just run around, be smart. That's all I need from you. Mahalo. hey, chat. What y'all thinking? What's your over under on the Washington turnover? What's your call? Over under? Over under 1, or that's where I'm at.
Yeah, over under 1. On Washington turnover. What's your call?
Dollar Bill will get back on track, and Dollar
Let's
Bill,
go, dollar bill.
Let's go. I'm taking that.
Yeah, I definitely would take that. That's what I'm saying. I think our run game, they can't stack the box, man. All they do is put 8 in the box. They can't do that anymore. I dare them to do it. I promise. Do you know what Terry and Deebo is gonna do?
I see 0. Willie Locke says 0 turnover. ANC said
Willie
under
Locke,
1.
my boy.
Yeah, shout out Willie. L. Ronell said we need to be in 3rd and 3 or less and convert. Absolutely. Everybody's taking the under. Upset coming. Yeah, Willie came in here with the energy right off the bat.
Yeah, Willie.
Yeah, Willie.
Raise hell.
Also, Willie, shout out to you once again. I know you haven't heard it from my voice. Congrats on the newborn, man. Your baby's super cute.
My man had the mitts during game time.
Yeah. Mary Tour is coming to take you away. Yeah, Willie. Willie's lit right now. I love it. I believe Marcus will have all day to find both Terry and Deebo, especially with how good our O-line is. But they got Chris Jones.
They got Chris Jones. Don't get it twisted.
They do have Chris Jones. And one thing
he's
about
a
Chris
game
Jones,
record.
Yeah, and the thing about Chris Jones is he can be quiet the whole game, but the time they need him the most, he's going to show up and just do something spectacular. So we got to watch for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, getting Deebo and Terry back definitely helps with the energy. Of course, Willie, appreciate you, man. We'll keep it going for you, my guy. Yeah, y'all. This has been fun. I'm loving having all y'all in here. I love the engagement. Marcus ANC said Marcus put up enough numbers on the Atlanta rush to win the game. Our defense was horrible. Yeah, and that's really going to be what it boils down to. I'm not worried about Marcus. That's why it's like, I honestly, we shouldn't have this much confidence after what we saw last week. But preparing for this episode and really diving into these stats, these next gen stats, really kind of put a battery back in my back. I'm a serial optimist. Kenny will tell you that. But like when I saw the stats to back it up, I was like, oh yeah, we legit have a chance. This is like we're on upset alert for sure. We are legit on upset alert.
Yeah, Fan Nation, he convinced me. I ain't gonna hold you. I've been solely pessimistic leading up to this game and this matchup, and I kind of been the needle is leaning towards the optimistic side. Where I feel like we do have a chance. Of course, there's just a certain way we have to play the game, and if also I just feel I just know our team. Our team is very resilient.
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna come off this loss. What'd you say?
I said very much so.
Yeah, it's a fact. No, all facts, man. No fiction. So I just feel, coming off such a loss, I think DQ is gonna have the guys ready, man. We just We just got to come prepared, man, and play our game. We'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. For sure, for sure. I definitely think we're gonna be all right on this one. I think if we can come out and play our game, we have a chance. Like the Chiefs are the Chiefs, yes, but they are beatable. Remember that, y'all. They are beatable. I've
They are
seen
beatable,
teams come
man.
out. Didn't who they lose to this year? Was it
Yeah,
Jacksonville?
they started off pretty slow. Now they've kind of, and keep in mind they just played Vegas last week, put up 31 in 3 quarters, and then sat their starters in the fourth quarter to start the fourth quarter. They sat all their starters. So I know they're coming off a hot victory, and I mean we punished the Raiders too. You know their defense is terrible.
We
Um,
did. We went
so
crazy on them.
yeah, 100%. So it's just yeah, man. Um, it's gonna be an intriguing matchup, man. It really is. It's gonna be an intriguing matchup on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, the Chiefs have lost this year. They have lost to the Jaguars. They've
Yep.
also lost to the Eagles, and
Yep.
they've
I
lost to the
remember that.
Chargers. Come
Hmm.
on, y'all. Whoa. I didn't even know they lost to the Chargers. Okay.
It's
All
any
right.
given Sunday, bro.
Any given
You
Sunday,
know
man.
this, and then
Any
keep in
given
mind,
Sunday.
like when they lost to the Chargers, they were down their 2 top receivers as
Yeah.
well. So
ANC said Vegas don't count. She ain't lying.
and Vegas don't count. Vegas definitely don't count.
Yeah, this is definitely an opportunity for our defense to prove they belong for sure on that. Yeah, y'all. This is dope. This is dope. I'm excited. I'm really excited
Yeah.
about this. We're doing pretty well right now. Kenny, let's go ahead and wrap this on up because
Okay.
I would have talked a little bit
Do it.
about some of the stuff coming up at the trade deadline. I mean, maybe we could touch on it. We've already touched on the big topic, and that's the
Yeah,
Brian Thomas Jr.
for
But
sure.
earlier on, actually yesterday, we talked a little bit about the potential of safety reunion with Cam Curl. You want to chime in on that a little bit before we get out of here?
Yeah, man. Cam Curl, he's been playing great ball as of late, and I think we all know we didn't want to see him leave. He did ask for a bag, and
He did.
Ron didn't keep him, which we let him walk, but he's playing great ball right now, and there's a potential. I mean, rumors have it we've reached out trying to see if we could work a trade to bring Cam to DC. I think it would be excellent. I really do. I think it'll be an excellent move for us, uh, especially with the way that our secondary is playing currently. Cam is a vet. He's an excellent leader. I would love to see him back in burgundy and gold. You
Likewise.
know, and I think that'll be a good move by AP. And if we do make the move, it's more than likely going to be for a late round pick. It's going to be like literally like something between a fifth and a seventh. So
Yeah.
more than likely a 6 or 7 for him.
Yeah,
So
and what
I'm
makes it
with it.
likely, yeah, I think what makes it likely and not just a pipe dream is the fact that the Rams right now have really great safeties. Not only is Cam playing well,
Correct.
their other 3 safeties are playing well, and they is Kitchens a rookie, I believe. Is
Yeah,
Kitchens a rookie? Kitchens is a rookie, and he came on the
I
scene.
believe
He's
so. Yeah,
balling. Him and Cam are kind of like splitting time this season, and he's
yeah.
balling too. So that's gonna be interesting to see, man. I definitely would be open to a reunion with Cam Curl on there, man. I love that guy. You know, I was a huge Cam fan when he used to
I
be
know.
here. Cam and Derek Forrest were 2 guys from the Ron era
Yeah.
that I really love those guys. So I would love to see him come back. But who knows? That might just be a pipe dream for now. Uh Interesting that Cam Curl might want be coming back. I know, right? I know it just brings tears to your eyes. I'm sure he probably even has a crib here still, which would be beautiful, right? Can you imagine Cam Curl in there? But then questions come up like, what are we gonna do with Quan? You know, what happens when Will Harris comes back? But there's so many things that can go on there. So let's see what happens with there. How y'all feeling? If y'all were GM for a day, who would y'all want to see come back? What would you do at the trade deadline? Would you stay put? Would
Yeah.
you
What's your
buy? Would you
move?
sell? Go ahead and drop that in the comment as we wrap this on up. So we've talked a lot about this secret plan and this blueprint to beating the Chiefs. So let's go ahead and just run it back for y'all one more time before we get on out of here, just to make sure those points got home. So 3 keys are going to be Mariota's efficiency and ground control. Uh,
Mhm.
Defensive pressure and containment. Got to limit the
Mhm.
explosives. And we have to limit the tempo game. We have to keep Mahomes off the field. And when he is on the field, turn him into Patrick and not Patty. Kenny, you got any final thoughts on that before we get on out of here?
Yeah, man. I honestly, it's raise hell, raise hell.
Mm-hmm.
I think all the points that have been made, and we just hope that Joe Witt gets creative on defense because our vanilla ass offense ain't working, my brother. Joe Witt, we need you to change it up on defense. We would love to see the 3-4 scheme more. It
Mm-hmm.
fits. It's suited for what we need to do. So I'm looking forward to seeing some changes. I know because there's been a lot of heat under the defensive coordinators. I mean, even from the pressers, even DQ getting questioned multiple times. Are they going to make any personnel changes, or we're going to make any coaching staff changes? They've literally asked him, "Are you going to fire Joe Witt?" Just without
Pretty
saying,
much.
"You going to fire Joe Witt?" So I there's fire. They know that they have to come out and make a change. We cannot do this to come out with the same game plan we've come out with in past games. So that's what I'm eager to see, man. I'm gonna be watching for that. I'm be paying attention to our defense more than anything else. I'm not worried about our offense. Our offense is going to be fine. It's our defense I'm worried about.
Yeah, definitely, man. Offense is the strong point, even without Jayden, honestly, because of all the things that we've emphasized about Marcus. 9.4 yards per carry, and his
Yeah,
RPO game
that's
is
elite.
amazing. That's
That's
elite.
elite.
9.4 yards per carry, y'all. RPO game and decision making is amazing. Deebo's back in the mix. Terry's
Yeah.
back in the mix. We're gonna see some motions. We're gonna be able to put some sprinkles and some fudge and some caramel and all type and some brownies and cookies or gummy bears, whatever you want, Oreos, all on that vanilla. We're gonna be able to add some stuff to that, man. So it's gonna be really, really nice to see that back in there. And if we win the tempo and can defense can limit those explosives, I think we got this, y'all. I feel like this is upset alert. Who knows? Maybe this might be one of those weeks where you take a Ben Sinnott anytime touchdown if you're trying to make a prayer parlay. Who knows? The odds on that are looking crazy right now. I'm just
Mm,
saying, if you take
mm.
us clearing the spread with a Ben Sinnott touchdown, $10 might be able to make you some bread. Who knows? I'm just saying, don't take my word for it. Bet responsibly. We don't have no betting sponsors yet, but just letting you know, this might be one of those weeks because Ben Sinnott's only touchdown came from Marcus Mariota.
That's a fact. Yes, sir.
I'm just saying, y'all, this could be one of those weeks. So I'm hoping to see how things are gonna go. Yeah, we definitely need to Cliff is definitely getting the nerves out. Yep. And we do need to monitor Matt Gay for sure. The fact that he is questionable is something to watch out for before we get out of here. That is a great point, Lil C White. Let's not sleep on that.
That's real.
ANC said first time in a long time she heard Joe Witt take ownership in the presser. He absolutely did take
He
ownership.
did.
Yep. And Marcus does use all of his weapons. She's right about that. Manny says, I hope our guys make this flight. Hey, shout out to Manny. Uh, Manny's our boy out in Cali, true Redskins fan. His dad, Ray, those my family. He's out in KC. So definitely shout out to you, man. Hopefully you're good luck. I mean, last time you flew out for a game, bro, we got a W.
We
So it
got a
seems like every
dub.
time one of us flies out, we get a W, Manny. So hopefully you keep bringing that energy out there. Our boys are definitely covering the spray. Yes, sir. So we're gonna get that going, y'all. Hey, yeah, 12.5 is super disrespectful. So we might want to go ahead and take those. I mean, you don't have to make it your main bet, but I suggest everybody make at least one small bet. Take the spread, take a anytime touchdown. I feel like you might make some money this week. That's just me. I'm not an expert. I'm just saying I think you might make some money. Do a $5 bet, do a $2 bet, do something. I think you might make a little bit of money off of that. That's just me. So shout out to everybody who's stuck with us. We appreciate y'all so much. We keep saying that. We're
Absolutely.
gonna keep this going. Is this our fourth official live stream or our third official live stream?
Third.
Third live stream. So this is our third one. This is fun. We love talking to y'all. We love being in real time. We love everything that we're getting. So let's keep the energy going. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share this video. It's going to be posted up on YouTube right after the stream ends. And we're looking forward to all the growth we'll continue to see. We just hit 500. So we're on our road. Thank you all so much. We hit 500. We are on the road to providing better content. Hitting 1,000 is our next goal. So we're going to keep them coming. Yay. What's up, sis? That's my sister, y'all. Love you, sis. Shout out to all y'all, Fan Nation. We love this Commanders family, and hopefully we can all enjoy a Victory Tuesday, y'all. Raise hell, raise hell. Let's get on out of here, Ken.
Peace.
We'll blaze a trail. Raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the Commanders will prevail. Raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the Commanders never fail. From kickoff to the final play, we're here to win, come what may. Together strong, we'll blaze a way.